Welcome back, guys. So in today's tutorial we're going to be learning how to make this trending gown. So stay tuned and let's get right into the video.
So guys, this is my fabric folded into four. So I'll be needing my scissors and my chalk. This is my fabric folded into four. So this is 3 yards of fabric. I folded it into four because I wanted this part to be close. Now I folded it using my shoulder measurement. So I folded it using my shoulder measurement plus extra sleeve allowance and then 2 inch for the hem. So I'll take that again, the shoulder measurement plus the sleeve length and then 2 inch for my folding. So this actually depends on what you want, but this is following what I have, which is the inspo of the style. So now what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be starting with the neckline. So I'm going to be having 2 necklines. For the first neckline, I'm going to be having the 3x3 neckline. So I'm just going to be marking it here, 3 here. And this is the another 3 right here. So I'm just going to make it all like this. So this is for the basic neckline. Then I'm going to be using this to illustrate for the back as well. So I'm going to be measuring 1 right here. This just serve as the back neckline, and I'm going to be blending it here as well. So this is going to be the back neckline, while this will be the front neckline. So then from here now I'm going to have my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder measurement is actually 7. So this is what I was trying to explain. So this is my 7 inches. Then here I have this as my sleeve length, which is on 10, and then allowance. So I'm using this as my allowance. So I'll just leave this here. So for this part now, I want my sleeve opening to be around 10 inches. I don't want it to be too wide. So I want it to be 10 inches. So I'm going to be adding extra 1 or ½ inch to that. So I'll just add extra ½ inch to that. So I'm going to have it on 10.5. So this 10.5 now is where I'm going to be taking my bust measurement. So on this part too, I'll come here. I'll take my bust, my 10.5 here as well. So this is it here. I can just blend this together like this. So now on this line is where I'm going to be taking my bust measurement. So I'm going to be taking the bust measurement divided by 4. So for the bust, I'm going to be having 8.75, which is automatically 9. Then I'm going to be adding extra 3 inch to that, which I'm going to have right here. Then I'm going to locate the hip as well. So from the this is serve as my shoulder. So the hip is around 24 inch. So this is my hip line. So I'm not going to be taking the waist because this is not a fitted cloth. So for the hip, I have. So guys, I have to go ahead to confirm my client's hip measurement. So actually, my client's hip measurement is 8.75, which is similar to her bust, exactly the same. So her hip and her bust are the same. So I have that here. Then I have an extra 3 inch to that. So I'm going to have it here, or let's say I have extra 3.5, depending on how free your client wants this to be, which will be here. So automatically, I'm going to have this connection and this connection almost the same. So I'm going to be using this my tape rule as a guide. So I'll just blend a straight line now, just like this, as you can see me doing here. So whatever I have here now, I'm going to take note of that, which is around 12.5. I'm going to replace it here as well. So once I'm done, then I'll blend it as well, straight downward. So I'm going to take it down. So automatically I have a straight line just here. So this is just going to be straight. Then from this part right here, I'm going to just make a curve in between this like this. I don't know if this is clear enough for us to see. So from this part, I just made a curve this way into what I have as mine. So this is what my curve looks like. So I'm going to go with this because this is actually out of it. So I'm just going to go ahead to cut this way. So let's go ahead to cut first. So guys, this is what I had after I was done. So I just cut along this line this way, straight ahead. This is what I have. Then don't forget that the length is actually the client's length plus 1.5 inch allowance. So my client's length is actually around 40. So I added about 1.5 to it. So you can add 2, you can add 1.5, which is actually okay. So now let's work on the neckline. So for the neckline, you can see that we have 2 necklines. One is for the shorter one, which is 3x1, is for the back, which the longer one, 3x3, is for the front. So So now the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting the shorter one, which is the back neckline. So just carefully trace out this. So this is our back neckline. Now what we are going to be doing now is we're going to be opening up this. So we're going to be separating it now. So this is the front. So we go ahead like this. So this is actually the center. So I think maybe we should probably go ahead and notch this part, which is our center. So notch it so that it will be easier for you when you pull. So this is my center for the front. So I'm going to bring it this way. You can see that I've separated it now. I have just the front. So I'm working on the front. So you can also take your time to arrange this properly, because any cutting you do here now will affect the clothes. So just take your time to open it up carefully. You want to make sure it is properly balanced. So as you can see now, I've separated the back. So this is the back and here is the front. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to just carefully trim out this part, which is my front. So I'm going to cut this out. So this is the front, as you can see. Also, if you take note, you see that the front has an opening or a slit. So the front has an opening. So now I'm going to be opening it up here. So for the opening, this is actually okay, but let's go ahead to measure it. So this is around 4 inches. It is actually perfect. So this is the opening. This opening will serve as the opening for the front. So let's go ahead now to arrange the back. See what this looks like. So this is what we have for now, guys. So this is how it looks like. So this is the neckline. This is the back neckline. So basically what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be cutting a facing for this neckline that will cover this part and this part. So we're going to be working on that now. So now let's go back to fold this the way we actually did that before. Opening. So I cut out this piece of fabric and fold. So actually the length of this is 13 and then the wideness is about 18 inches. Remember it is on fold now, so I have 9 here, which is times 2. So you're going to cutting out the wideness as 18 inches while the length is on 13 and a half. So now you can see that this part of the fabric is actually still intact, is not separated. So like just like this part of the clothes is not separated. So I'm going to be placing it exactly that way. So I'm just going to place this thing. Go ahead and place my fabric on it this way. So you want to make sure you move it up a bit so that you have enough space for this opening here. So now make sure it is well relaxed. So once we have this, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting that neckline, following the first one. So take your time to cut this as well. Cut it. So now also I'll go ahead to open this one. So where we have our opening here. So I'm almost there. So I already opened it up. Now flip it to the other side so that we can see what we have. So this is what the neck looks like with facing. So what I'm going to be doing is for this neck facing now, I'll just go ahead now to make a curve. You can make a curve. You can leave it this way. You can make kind of make a curve in a way that the neckline is like this, or you can just go ahead to hem this part in like this, so all the edges in, so that it is not fraying out. And then you use this to turn the neckline. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing. We're going to be using this cloth now to turn the neckline. So let's start our sewing from there. So we're going to be placing this way, such a way that the neckline will rhyme. So I'm going to be placing right side facing right side this way. So this is Make sure the neckline is relaxed. At this stage, you want to get your pin to hold it down. Get your office pin. Hold them down on the four edges, then close to them. Just go ahead to use your sewing machine now. So this actually needs a bit of an opening right here. Good. So make sure it is relaxed. Once it is well relaxed, so you're going to be sewing from the neckline. You can start from here, so around here this way, then you end here. Then once we are done, it's going to be going inside. So let's just take this to our sewing machine and read this first of all. So guys, this is what I had after I was done using this piece of fabric to turn the neck. So I folded half inch on both sides so that I will have the rough edges inside. So I just did it round the four corner part. So I left my neckline as the four corner. You can, like I said, you can make yours the curvy one, which is the circle one, but I'll be leaving mine like this. So now I'm going to be using this, my hemming gum now. I'm going to be measuring it this way. Then I'll be adding it inside just like this, as you can see me doing here. So I'll make sure it is well placed. So remember to notch your neckline after you're done turning before you iron it over, just as it is like this, so that the neckline will be well relaxed. So this is how I'm going to be placing my hemming gum. Then I'm just going to place it randomly like this on all the four sides of this. So I'll raise this up gently again and place this. So you adjust it. So repeat it, make sure it is standing firmly. So I need to move this in a bit. So I'm going to repeat it for all the sides. So you can see that immediately I put my pressing iron on it, it comes. So this is the same process you're going to repeat for this side and all the other side as well. So you make sure you comb it properly so that the heat can spread nicely. So I already reduced the temperature of my iron, so I can leave it on it that way. And I'll measure for this side as well, so that I can stick it this way. So carefully arrange other parts too, just as you can see me doing. Please take your time to do this so that it can come out as neat as possible. Then I'll repeat same thing for this side as well. This is what the neckline looks like. As you can see, it looks so neat. So this is the point of using an interface for the neckline. So it came out so nice. Now I've gone ahead to fold the 2 inch I left for my hand for the sleeve part. So I folded it in, then I folded the other part in as well. So what we are going to be doing now is we are going to go ahead now to fold this over this way. So we're going to be arranging it. We're going to be arranging it this way. So make sure it is laid properly. So this is what my neckline looks like. Now what I'm doing is I want to fold it back. folding it back this way. Now the essence of folding it back is because if you look at the style inspo, you see that the lower part is like this shirt TM style. I don't know if we are familiar with what I'm trying to say. So you can see that there's a curvy part. That is, the middle part is kind of longer than the sides, even after the folding. So we're going to be making this in form of the T hem. So what I'm going to do now is from this part now, I'm going to be going up by about 2 inches from this part. Then I'll be making a curve into this part this way. Again, I'll be going up by 2 inches here. Then I'll be blending that curve into this line. That is, this side will remain the same. The length of this part will remain the same. While this will be reduced by 2 inches, but it will be blended into this line this way. So you can go ahead and use your curve just to arrange a nice curve into this part. But I'll be using my scissors now to cut through it. So please pay attention. My 2 inch, which is right here. This is where my 2 inches, and I'll be making a curve from here this way. So this is basically what I was trying to explain. So you can see this is what I mean by the TM cutting right here. Just trim out the excess. So this is what the lower part is going to be looking like. So for this M now, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead to tape the lower part. First of all, I'm going to be using 1 inch. I'm going to be folding in the edges of this, just like this. Let me open this up first of all for us to see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like here. So I'm going to be folding here with 1 inch, ½ inch over and ½ inch in. So we're folding it in. Then I will as well go ahead to join the sides with 1 inch. Now this is one thing I want us to take note of. So I'm going to be inserting my pocket on 16 inches, which is on the waist. So my pocket is going to be on starting from 16 inches. Then I'm going to be measuring this. So this is my pocket. This is what the fabric I cut out for my pocket. This is actually the fabric I cut out for my pocket. So the length is about 13.5. Then the wideness is about 10 inches, exactly 10 inch. So what I did is I left an opening. Probably I should use this. So this side of the pocket is kind of closed. So I left about 8 inches here for my hand to be able to enter the pocket. So I think we're familiar with this, if you know how to fix a pocket. So I'm just going to be fixing this pocket now. So from this 16 inches where I said I'm going to be coming down by to fix my pocket, from that 16 inches I'm going to sew from here. Then when I get to this point, I'm going to make sure I lock my stitch properly. Then I'm going to measure that 8 inches which I want to use for my pocket. I'm going to leave that space as well, and I'm going to lock my stitch from here and then complete this part with my 1 inch. So I'm going to be taking 1 inch on the sides. Remember, I'm going to be leaving 8 inches in between my waist and then to where the 8 inch stop. From that point, I'm going to be locking my stitch. My stitch will also be locked here. Yes, I'm going to have 8 inches space in between, which I'm going to be using to fix my pocket. Then from this part as well, from that, after that 8 inches, I'm going to be sewing in my 1 inch straight down. Remember that you're going to do this after you have gone ahead to fold the lower part of this. So after folding the length of the clothes for the back and the front, then we're going to be doing that on both sides. So remember, your pocket is from 16 inches, which is the waist. Then from that 16 inch, leave 8 inch, lock your stitch, then go ahead and complete your stitch. Then I'm going to be stitching this with 1 inch. Remember, I had 3 inches to this, so I'm going to be using 1 inch as my inner allowance. Then the remaining 2 will be for his. So now let's take this to the sewing machine. This is what my pocket looks like. As you can see that it blends so well, and then it is not too tight to dip the hand into. So this is what it looks. So I fixed my pockets on both sides. Then I went ahead to take this part. So now we're going to be adding drawstrings. Pardon me. We're going to be adding drawstrings to the sides. So we're just going to be adding drawstring to about 10 inch or 11 inch. So our drawstring will stop here. So for the drawstring, I went ahead to make my ropes. So those tiny ropes I cut, or strands I cut, I made them into rope. So the length of each of this is about 30 inch. So I'm going to be, I have 4 of it. So I have 4 of it, that's 2 on each side. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to open the seam allowance I have inside. So I use 1 inch as my seam allowance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead to use my pressing iron to lay down this seam allowance flat. Now after laying them flat, I don't know if it is clear for you to see. So I'm going to be placing, after I've ironed this flat, I'm going to be placing my strands on it. Maybe I'm using about 11 inch. So wherever the 11 inch stop is where my rope will stop. So this is where my 11 inch ends. So the rope will be extended to that part. So once you get to that part, I'm going to lock up this part on my machine. Then on this other part again, I'll put another rope on this side from where that 11 inch actually starts from. So I'm going to put another rope inside this 1 inch allowance. So I'm going to be stitching where the rope begins from here, which is from my 11 inch downwards, as you can see here. Then after I've stitched here to hold down or to secure the ropes, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this part now down with half an inch. So you can go ahead and weave these parts if you have an overlocking machine, and if you don't have an overlocking machine, you can just fold this in, since it's about 1 inch and then your rope is about ½ inch. So you can fold this in this way, then to secure your casing for the rope. So you do this on the right side of the allowance and then on the left side of the allowance, and then repeat it for the other side as well. So let's take this to the sewing machine now, and I'll be back to show us what it looks like. Remember to first press down your allowance so that you don't have it moving here and there. So now let's go ahead and sew this. This is what I had after I was done with the rope. So this is what the inside looks like. So then to achieve the style now, you can either wear it like this, or you pull both strands this way. So once you pull it this way, you secure it with a knot. Then you repeat the same thing for the other side as well. So this is what it looks like after we are done with it. And then this is what the back looks like. So you can just go ahead now to give this a good press. So you just go ahead to gather the sides the way you want. And then we are done with this. So this is the end of today's tutorial, guys. If you find this tutorial helpful, kindly subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, please leave your questions in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply. Thanks for watching, guys.